Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home, my Lord, and be free.
Destination Freedom. Destination Freedom. Dramatizations of the great democratic traditions of the Negro people is brought to you by Theatre Charlotte as part of the pageant of history and the pageant of America's own, Destination Freedom. Of an American woman, the late H.G. Wells once said, "Turn the page of this plucky woman's story of the broadening streak of violence, injustice through which she has lived her life and in her own century. And I wonder what answer will America give to her." The woman was Mary Church Terrell. And in a chapter entitled The Long Road, Destination Freedom turns the page of the Terrell story.
I am the woman, Mary Church. The pages of my story began at the close of the Civil War. On the threshold of a new age, I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, unheralded and unwanted.
It's a girl. At a time like this, the Almighty sends us a girl. It's neither the time nor the place to raise one.
It's not the time for any child. I wanted none.
A boy. He'd have had a chance, but in this section of the South where they're struggling to throw us back into slavery, a girl.
I wanted no children at all. Not at all.
So I was welcomed. And in the wreckage of the Reconstruction, I grew and quietly wondered at the split personality of the social systems that spawned me, that preached one way of living for white folks and demanding a different way from Black folks. And I asked my mother why I was unwelcome.
Must you keep asking me that?
I like to know.
You'll get to see for yourself soon enough. You'll know.
How will I know?
When you don't have to ask, you'll know. Now go on out to get your schooling. Your father and I have work to do.
So I would go out to school and play, and to wander across the street where a boy I knew, Tom Moss, also wandered, and who would call to me.
"Hello, Mary. Want a piece of apple? Take half."
Well,
"Oh, go on. Bye. You got a small mouth." "Nice bye. Your mouth ain't as small as I thought it was."
I did the best I could.
"Your best is plenty good. Going my way?"
You walking down Cottonwood Street? You know you're not supposed to.
"It's only for the white folks," the signs say. "But I hear your old man's going to buy a house on it."
But my mother says...
She won't stop him. He's right. I'm going to be like him one day. Ain't going to be no streets where I can't walk when I get bigger. You ever read the 13th or 14th Amendment?
Yes.
You know, our folks used to be slaves, but all that stuff's ended. It's dead.
And Tom and I, children of newly freed slaves, would wander at the world around us. Ain't no more slavery, so them white signs don't mean a thing. The Constitution says everybody is free and equal, and I intend to stick by it. like the gospel. And already there was a militant manner in his outlook that I longed to have. And when I asked him how he got that way, he said,
I'm a man. I'm supposed to fight for what's my own. That's what your pa says.
and just what am I supposed to be doing?
You're a woman. You're supposed to keep out of the way, your pa said.
It was true. My father had said this. And one evening when I came home, he took me over to our new house on the corner of Forbidden Cottonwood Street. And I stood with my mouth open.
All right now, girl, stand aside. Least a woman can do is keep out of the way of those who are busy. Let the moving men by. Wagner?
Coming, church. We're coming.
This way. Stand aside, gal. You hear me?
Here, boys. Here, hold it a while. Easy now. Easy there. Easy.
You see the sun setting? Don't stop now. Get my furniture in.
Look, I see the sunset in church, but do you know what else I see? Way down at the end of Cottonwood?
I got eyes.
It's a mob. They've been collecting like buzzards since they heard you were moving on this street.
I know that.
Then you know that all they're waiting for is nightfall. My advice, Mr. Church, take your wife and your daughter away.
I hired you to move me, Mr. Wagner.
And that we're doing.
When I need advice, I will ask for it.
Church, if you had someone here to help you fight off that mob, if they attack you, it'll be different. Now all you've got is those two women. Now tell my boys to take the furniture back. Boys, here. Boys.
Mr. Wagner, I paid you. Will you go on?
If you insist on it. If you insist on it. But you're a fool. You're a fool, John Church. And a fool and his life soon parted. All right, boys. All right. Heave up on that furniture. Come on, stand aside, girl.
I stood aside as the movers piled furniture into our house on the Forbidden Street. That night, my father kept a restless watch. Outside, a mob intent on preserving white supremacy milled about and shouted. And through the night, as our visual wore on, my father called.
Mary!
Yes?
Not you, your mother. Mary!
What is it?
They're still waiting out there.
Let them wait.
They won't go away until we're driven away.
The police...
The police won't help us. You know it. If we stay cooped up, they'll swarm around until one gets enough nerve to shoot through the windows. Then they'll come at us like hungry dogs.
Oh, John, why did we move here?
Because our fathers long for this freedom even more than we have. And by George, they're not going to drive us out.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to meet them.
John?
It's better to go outside and convince them than to wait and let them take us. My gun, Mary.
Convince them of what?
That slavery is over. My gun. Step aside, girl.
I stepped aside, and though my father snatched at him, though my mother snatched at him, the ex-slave went out to convince his ex-masters that he indeed was free. And we huddled in the house, heard shots in the streets, heard the uproar and the rioting, and listened as it died out. And when the overdue dawn drove the night off, there was a knock at the door. I went to see if Father had won his house or lost it.
I'll go, girl. You stay here.
All right, Mother. She tiptoed to the door and opened it. It was Father. He came walking in. No, 3 men, the movers, were helping him to walk, and they brought him past me, and then I saw the back of his head, and I cried out, Father, you're hurt.
Mary?
Yes, John?
Didn't I tell you to keep the girl out of sight?
I did, but...
Well, why do you stop and stare, too? Wagner, take me up. My head.
John!
Now, quiet, man. He's hurt bad, but I think he'll pull through. He drove them off all right. He drove them off. Just step aside and let us handle it. I think he'll pull through.
And she stepped aside and took me with her and told me why she had not been anxious for a child.
Now you can see. Oh, for a short while around here, while the Reconstruction was on, there was a growing freedom, and poor white men and Negroes were coming into their own. But before you were born, reaction tore down the work of the Reconstruction, the free voting, the equal education, and I could see where we were heading, towards a new kind of slavery. No mother wants to see her child suffer prejudice and bigotry. Now you see.
I did see. And I looked closer at the life around me and tried to adjust myself for the task ahead. And finally, when Father had recovered, he said,
You won't have to adjust. You're not to live in it. I've decided to send you somewhere else.
Where?
Somewhere where freedom and justice are more than ideas, where men are working at it. I've made arrangements for your education, though I don't know what you'll do with it. I wish you had been a boy. You could be useful. However, girl that you are, do the best you can. Now, you got some packing to do. Get started.
I prepared to go north to school, and Tom came by to say goodbye.
Well, the little mouth girl is leaving Memphis.
Tom,
I just came over to help you pack your suitcases. Boy, you an apple too. Want a bite?
that's nice of you, Tom. Oh, no, I'll cut it this time. My folks say you're not going north. You're staying right here.
I'll be here when you come back.
Well, wouldn't it be easier if you go up north?
It might be. It's rough here for anybody believing in the 13th or 14th Amendment, but I'm staying.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because my people are here. Maybe because my folks helped build this country and made it worth living in. Anyway, I'm sticking south. Even if I'm lynched for it. Besides, I've opened a grocery store up on Market Street. Did they tell you?
I hear on Market Street they driving Negro merchants out.
I'm a Negro merchant, and I'm still there, and I'll be there. Mary, when you come back with your education, I'll be there.
I left home, and all the people I'd grown up grown up with and went up north to Oberlin College and studied the history of my country, grew up and got married, and then came home to settle down. Came home to a welcome that was different than what I had been greeted with my birth.
Welcome home, Mary. Welcome home.
Yes, we've gotten together a little surprise party for you, Mary. Welcome home.
Well, my eyes are wet and my heart is full.
Oh, now, Mary, don't look so serious. It's welcome home. You've been away from Memphis now 10 years.
Not many Memphis girls come home from college with 3 degrees. And look at these gifts. Everybody you ever knew sent you something. Look.
Well, where's Tom Moss?
Young Tom Moss? He's an up-and-coming market man now, you know.
Well, I'd like to see him.
Well, it's time he got here. As a matter of fact, but
he said he wouldn't miss your homecoming.
no, in fact, he sent you a gift right along with the other folks. Here, I'll lift it. It's in this here crate. I'll just open it. See what's in it. There. Well, nothing but red apples. And a note saying, don't let your big mouth eat them all. Save half for me, I'll be there. You're home, girl.
And I felt the warmth of people around me and forget the years I lived in terror. And when my father went out to convince his neighbors he was free, and I waited for Tom to come and to strike again his rich, warm note. Instead, his brother came running up the steps in panic and fear.
What is it? What is it?
It's Tom. There's a riot over on Market Street. They've wrecked his store. Tom, he's been lynched.
The warmth that I thought I felt in the southern air turned thick and humid and unfriendly. And the party turned into a wake. I recall wandering around the streets of Memphis in a state of shock, knocking on the doors of the churches and telling the story to the ministers who prayed over me and hearing some say,
I'm afraid there's nothing the church can do about such a horrible thing, miss. You have my deepest sympathy. I'm afraid there's nothing we can do but pray. We can pray for their souls. There's solace in prayer.
I was bitter and confused. I couldn't see why Memphis churches could not fight lawlessness. Could not feel it. It was time to crusade for the living of the equality of all mankind. I had read of lynchings before, and I had been deeply stirred. But when a woman has been closely associated with the victim from a childhood, the anguish is indescribable. And I decided to make my home elsewhere.
I've always said, if I had a son instead of a girl, he would be of help in bringing about the kind of justice the world needs. A woman?
And why not a woman?
Most people would think fighting, that's just out of place for a woman.
Then, Father, I think hereafter I'll devote my life to being out of place, to convincing most people that only when woman stands with man and demands full right for all she is really in her place. And I went across the sea to study and to learn the progress women had made in France and Italy. I went to register at the German institution, and I was welcomed by Herr Hanson.
Fräulein Church, we're very glad to have you register to study here.
Well, I've heard so much about this school.
At first, we were worried about your race.
Yes, why?
Well,
Do you discriminate against students because of their color?
oh no, color, ridiculous. But to be frank, we thought you might be Jewish.
And if I were?
Well, we'd have to reject you, Fräulein. You see, we do not take Jewish women here. Of course, you being new here, you don't understand that.
I do understand. There's nothing new about discrimination.
Well, but of course, you...
Oh, I am in my own country, Herr Hanson. There too are institutions where I can't study because of my color.
But of course, that's foolish. Any institution would be proud to have such a scholar as you.
Any institution should be ashamed to discriminate against any woman, here, Hanson. And I don't think I can study here.
Well, why?
I believe once one accepts discrimination against another, he's preparing the way for his own slavery. And I intend to remain free. I remained free in Europe and worked and studied while I saw other women slowly giving in to race prejudice. And I learned that no woman can live free and equal by standing silently by while huge sections of human race were slandered and made second-class citizens. And when I came home to America, I had my work cut out for me. And I was called to Rochester by a woman who said,
I've heard of your lectures in Germany, Miss Church, and there's a need for the same things here.
yes.
Yes. Women in this country have gathered under the National American Women's Suffrage Association. We're trying to get an amendment to the Constitution that will give women the right to vote. We need women like you to go across the country and speak and inspire other women to follow you. Without this fight, it may take hundreds of years before women will cast ballots in America.
I thought of that.
Will you go?
Where shall I start?
Start where the message is needed most.
Well, that's in the South. It's harder to get women to listen there.
I know, but we've got to get white women and Negro women in the South. Get to them and somehow get them together.
I'll get to them. I took up the fight for women's suffrage and traveled south and spoke days and nights before women gathered in homes and halls. I spoke of the simple desire of every woman had for dignity and strength, and the same human recognition for their merit and talent that greeted men, or some men. And in the cornfields of Kansas, I talked to women while their men went off to vote in the polls.
How long you say it'll take, Miss Church, to get an amendment passed?
If enough women from the state join the association, get their men to vote for the First Amendment first.
Well, how do you get the men to vote for equality when just the sound of the word makes them mad?
Well, you've got to convince them.
How? My husband says woman's place is to raise the children, nothing else.
He's got daughters?
3.
Well, ask him if he wants them to serve in drudgery and have no rights of their own.
No. He ain't likely to stand for that. If he thinks of his daughters, not likely.
And I went south and I talked to the women in the cotton fields, as well as the women in the clubs and the hotels. And soon my name became known in towns before I reached them. And sometimes the women welcomed me as I got off the train. And sometimes they came to the train to see that I didn't get off, as they did in Alabama.
Are you that agitating women they sent down here from up north?
I'm from Memphis, and I came to speak about something that concerns us all.
That's her. That's the woman who's going around stirring up trouble.
Women, please listen.
If you want to know something for your own good, girl, get back on that train and stay, or they'll be throwing you back on.
Who are they?
The men folks around here, they heard about you coming.
And since when have women with backbone allowed men to dictate who they shall hear and who they shan't? Since when?
We don't want no colored woman coming down here telling us what to vote for. That's all.
And who knows more about what's in the hearts and mind of women of the South, Negro and white? You or the bigots among the men who have never given equal treatment to their Negro neighbors, nor to you, their wives and relatives? And who among you enjoys the freedom that all women need? Who associates with whom she likes? Who can bring up her children to be true fighters for freedom and humanity without telling them to hold back for their neighbors, Jews or Negroes?
We know all what you're talking about. We expected you'd talk this way. Agitator.
Are you afraid to listen to an agitator?
My old man's a member of the Ku Klux Klan. He's got some power in this town, and you.
I can see why you're afraid. He must be very frightening and a brutal man.
He treats me all right. He's just hard on the colored folk and the men folk.
There's no man who practices brutality towards other men who will ever practice equality towards women.
We don't want no equality with Negroes. That's all there is to it. My man says the Klan's the only thing that protecting us white women from Negro men. He says that.
Women, since when have we needed cowards in our beds, cowards in bed sheets and masks and shotguns to safeguard our persons or our homes? The only protection women need is protection by equality under the law. Equality of opportunities, the right to share the benefits of this land alongside men. Equality to choose their associates without fear of intimidation from bigots and the hissing cowards. That is why I'm staying in the South and getting Negro and white women together to fight their freedom together. In the right to vote, the right to work, will freedom be found. For once a white woman bows down but before white masculinism, she is ready for slavery. I spoke that way everywhere I traveled. And slowly they began to listen. And there were clubs formed of women in the South to promote their own welfare. I helped form the National Association of Colored Women with the crucial 19th Amendment to grant suffrage to women was passed. I worked for women's organizations everywhere to implement the amendment and to bring a new awareness to the struggles women were making to help construct a new society where race and sex discrimination would be outlawed. And when I had finished this mission, I was invited to another mission.
Miss Church, I've called you here because we're proud of your work in women's suffrage and your work with the Washington Board of Education. And there's another mission I wish you could join.
Well, what is it?
Well, you've enlisted women behind political rights and social rights. The world's war ended in Europe, and now there's another thing we've got to get women behind: peace. Without peace, none of the rights we've won for women will mean anything. Will you help?
You know I will.
I'm glad. I'm going with you. I'm going on leave of absence from Hull House here in Chicago to help build the peace.
She was Jane Addams, and together with 30 other women, we went to Switzerland. And there we worked with women from every country in Europe to outline a program to put women who give most and gain least by wars squarely behind the crusade for peace. And on my way home, I stopped in England and met a man who had already read the early pages of my life. And he said,
Whenever you write your autobiography, call on me if you need a godfather for it. If you live the next 20 years of your life the way you've lived the last, it will be a book America should read.
and I came home to Washington, where I had decided to live. And again, I was called to undertake a mission. The call came from the head of Washington Education Association.
Would you have time this year, Miss Church, to make a study of George Washington's relation to the Negro people? My department wants to print a pamphlet for the coming Washington bicentennial. If you have time.
I found the time, and I began by boarding the bus in Washington to go out to George Washington's home at Mount Vernon. But it seems I'd forgot that here in our nation's capital, in our nation's capital, I wasn't free.
Fair, please. Get fair. Yep, back of the bus. You move in the back of the bus. Hey, say, woman, you hear me? Woman, you deaf or something? If you're deaf, woman, you sure ain't blind. Can you hear me?
What is it?
You're sitting in the wrong seats. White folks in the front, colored in the rear. You been in Washington long?
A very long time.
Well, then act like it. Are you moving or are you giving me trouble?
I'm too tired to move. So I guess I'm going to give you trouble.
All right, woman, you asked for it. Hold that door there.
As I pulled myself up off the Capitol streets and slowly towards the home of the George Washington, I was going to make my survey on the relations of the Negro people, not only with the first president, but with the capital of the country. I would not step aside. True, I was an old woman, but there was still a fight for women to lead. And there were still fights for justice and equality and peace. And I looked towards Mount Vernon, and it was at the end of a very long, long road. But I still had strength to travel it.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home.
You have just heard Destination Freedom's dramatization of The Long Road, the story of the militant fighter for women's rights, Mary Church Terrell. Appearing in tonight's cast were Tyler Smith, Lil Ann Oden, Rob Addison, Kelly Pretrere, Corey Mitchell as father, and Ericka Ross as Mary Terrell. And I'm Ron McClelland. Theater Charlotte's Isolation Radio Hour, produced by Julius Arthur Leonard, with screen direction by Jackie Timmons and casting by Ron Law. And now stay tuned for the second half of Theater Charlotte's Isolation Radio Theater on this same streaming platform.
Theater Charlotte presents Lights Out Everybody. It is later than you think. This is Tyler Smith, bringing you another in our stories of the unusual. And once again, we caution you. These Lights Out series are definitely not for the timid soul. So we tell you calmly and very sincerely, if you frighten easily, turn off your radio now.
Alice, do you still think we're in the United States?
I'm beginning to doubt it.
Are you sure you got the right address?
Of course.
Well, don't be so dogmatic. You have made mistakes.
Sounds as if you're starting to get annoyed.
Well, I am. We've been driving so long, my back feels as if somebody were doing a Big Apple on it.
Oh, well, we'll be there soon enough.
You know, Alice, sometimes that calm nature of yours makes me good and tired.
You sound as if you want to quarrel.
I'm sorry. It's just that, well, I looked forward to this vacation for weeks. And now that it's happening, well, it isn't so much fun.
Oh, well, wait till you get to my Aunt Harriet's. You could curl up on the alfalfa and sleep for days.
Sleep, oh, that's a lovely word. Just imagine sleeping as long as you want without having to worry about making an 8 o'clock class.
Perfect.
But are you sure you know where your Aunt Harriet lives?
Girl, run out of synonyms for, of course I do.
I just like to reassure myself. I certainly hope she has soft beds. Oh, and that reminds me, you did send her that letter that we're coming.
No.
Say that again?
No, I didn't send the letter.
You mean to say that she doesn't even know we're coming to stay with her?
Well, I decided it'd be more fun if we sort of surprised her.
Well, all of the brainstorms. Walking in on someone you haven't seen for 10 years and expecting her to welcome you?
Oh, she's my only aunt, isn't she?
But maybe she won't have room for us.
Oh, don't be silly. I told you, Aunt Harriet lives alone and likes it.
Well, maybe she won't like it if we barge in on her.
Oh, don't be silly. Of course we'll be welcome. From what I've heard, she's a little old darling.
When you were 8, she was a darling. For all you know, she's taken the welcome mat in years ago.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say we were supposed to go down Camden Road 3 miles?
Yes.
Then you are lost. That sign back there? This isn't Camden Road.
You're silly.
I saw it with my own eyes. It said Pig Snackle Road.
Oh!
You see that? See that? Pig Snackle Road. You are wrong.
Pig Snapple Road. This is too good to be true.
Are you crazy? Laughing at a name of a place when you haven't got any idea where you are? And my back's breaking.
Don't be silly. I'm sure we'll find it. There it is.
There's what? The edge of the world?
No, the crossroad. The entrance to Aunt Harriet's place ought to be just a little bit beyond it.
That's what you say.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. There it is. Here, we turn here. Turn.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you trying to do? Turn over?
It won't be long now.
You're telling me this is no road. It's a cow path.
Oh, Aunt Harriet likes her privacy. I remember Dad and Mother used to say that.
Another 100 feet on this road and I won't need a bed. I'll need a stretcher. Come on, slow down before... Oh, I knew it. What a road. Even the tires couldn't take it.
Oh, what do you care? Aunt Harriet's place is just a little ways down. We'll walk.
You mean leave the car right here in the middle of the road?
It's Aunt Harriet's own private road. No bother at all. Oh, come on, take your bag. Let's get out of here.
Oh, all right. I'm just a stooge.
Come on, let's go. We'll just be there just in time for dinner.
That's what you think.
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe your Aunt Harriet doesn't like guests who just walk in like that. Hey, Alice, now what are you stopping for?
I just noticed.
Noticed what?
How dark it's getting.
So what? Come on. When the sun starts setting, it gets dark. I learned that in Physical Science 101.
Yeah, but back there on the road, it was so light, and here it's so dark and gloomy.
What's the matter with you? Are you going to take your suitcase and come on, or are you just going to stand there being afraid of the dark?
I'm all right.
So many trees around here. No wonder it's dark. If that Aunt Harriet of yours wants privacy, she sure got it. And I hope when we get there, I'll have the same privacy.
Lona?
Now what?
Look at that mist. It's coming right up through the trees.
Yeah.
Long white curling fingers.
Oh, stop that, will you? It's just getting late. Colder, moisture's condensing. Oh, will we ever get there riding and walking? Have you actually got an Aunt Harriet? Come on, let's go back.
Hey, wait, Lona. There it is.
Huh? Hallelujah, it is a house. Well, it's about time. It's about time. Knock harder, Alice. Knock harder.
I can't. It hurts my knuckles.
Oh, let me.
Oh, well, she must be home. There's a light upstairs.
And you were going to surprise her, eh?
But she never leaves this place.
Oh, go on. You don't even know that she lives here. A fine business. Car with a flat, stuck in the middle of nowhere, nobody home in this godforsaken place, and me so tired I could sleep standing on my head.
But she must be home.
You're repeating yourself. Oh, if this is a vacation, I'm a...
Wait a minute. Wait. There's someone at the door.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, what do you want?
I'm looking for, are you Miss Sigas?
Yes. Yeah. What do you want?
Then you are my Aunt Harriet.
Hallelujah again.
Who's calling me Aunt Harriet? Who I say? Who are you?
Why, I'm Alice Preston.
Alice? Oh, yes, bless my soul. Oh, I know you. Come in.
Hallelujah, we're here.
Yes, come in, close the door.
Oh, Aunt Harriet, you don't know how glad I am to see you. We have a time getting here.
Yes. Well, come right in here. Come right in here.
There, Lona. I told you we'd be welcome.
She didn't even ask who I was.
Now put your things down right here and sit down and just make yourselves comfortable.
Oh, thanks. Oh, Aunt Harriet, this is my girlfriend, Lona Stevens. We roomed together at the university, and I asked her to come along with me because I thought maybe it'd be
Well,
nice.
it's all right, child. It's all right. Yes, anyone and everyone is welcome. Anyone at all.
That's very kind of you, Aunt Harriet. I hope you won't mind my calling you that, but Alice, always.
There, my child. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, and a name's a name now. Now, just sit here and be comfortable. And I'm gonna go get you some tea, okay? Yeah, get you some nice tea.
Oh, no, really, Aunt Harriet.
Well, apparently your Aunt Harriet does what she wants to do.
Oh, doesn't she?
Oh, well, as long as we're here. Looks like something out of a museum, isn't it?
What?
The house, the furnishings. Look at the chairs and that sofa. Are they prehistoric or are they prehistoric?
Yeah, I didn't think she was that old. She was
old. Oh, you mean your aunt?
Yes.
Oh, well, after all, 10 years living out alone in this godforsaken place. But I sort of think she's nice.
Do you?
Taking us right in and not asking us all sorts of silly questions, that's the kind of relative to have. You know, if I were to go barging in on any of mine, first they'd give me a third degree on how come I was away from school, and then they'd give me another third degree on how long I was going to stay. And then they'd give me
Lona.
What's the matter?
Back in the shadows, what is?
I don't see it.
Is something moving?
Oh, why, it's a dog.
Oh.
Why, no, it's a cat.
Cat? It is a cat.
Not a cat. Look at the size of it. A tiger.
Lona, what will we do?
Don't move. If we do, it'll
Now here's your tea, young ladies. Nice warm tea, just what you need.
Aunt Harriet?
Oh, what's the matter? What the? Oh, he's frightened you.
What is it?
Well, you got eyes, don't you?
Yes, but
it's so dark in that corner, we can hardly tell. It's not a tiger, is it?
Don't talk nonsense.
Well, what is it?
He shouldn't be here at all. It's much too early for him.
Aunt Harriet, didn't you hear me? I asked her, what is it? What it is?
What do you think it is?
Can't be a cat.
Why, he's as big as a police dog.
All right. Come upstairs. I'll show you to your rooms. Come on. Come
There can't be a cat that size.
on. This way now. This way. And I'll show you to your rooms.
But Aunt Harriet.
Come along now. I said that. Come along. Up the stairs.
But why does she?
Come on, Alice. Come on. We better do as she says.
All right.
Oh, now you must be so tired, you two. Sleep. Sleep if that's what you need. Sleep.
But Aunt Harriet, how could it be a cat when
We will talk no more about it. We'll talk no more about it now. Tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning. Now, in here. Nadia's now in here.
Come on, Alice.
But why doesn't she answer me?
There, you see? A very comfortable bed, room for both of you to rest in. Now a nice wide bed and everything.
Harriet, wait, just a minute. I
You're
want
gonna give you a nice rest there. You'll be fine. Fine rest.
Oh, forget it, Alice. Whatever it is, you can find out in the morning.
But that cat.
Oh, cat. Can't you say anything but cat?
It was so huge and
Huge nothing.
what?
We just imagined it. That's all. I mean, there in the shadows, it looked monstrous. You heard it. It sounded just like an ordinary tomcat.
But I saw.
You didn't see any more than I saw, and I think it was just a long shadow that got us fooled. That's all.
Yeah, that could be it, couldn't it?
Of course. You remember in Psych 101 class, old Pudgy Wudgy told us about the tricks your eyes play in bad light when it comes to judging size.
Yeah, I remember. Local signs, they called it.
Right. Well, that's the way it was with that cat. I'll bet your Aunt Harriet thinks we're both a little screwy. That's why she got us up here to bed in a hurry. Oh, bed. Isn't that a wonderful word? And we will sleep.
I hope so. I hope so.
Alice,
What?
you're not sleeping either, are you?
No, I wanted to talk to you for hours, but I wasn't sure if you were.
I thought you were asleep.
Somehow I can't.
Me neither. I can't understand why. I'm the only one who was crying about how tired I was.
And the bed's so comfortable.
House is quiet enough.
The house.
Hmm?
Maybe that's why we can't sleep.
What do you mean?
There's something about this house.
What?
Something oppressive that just won't let us sleep.
Oh, you're crazy.
No, I'm not.
It's just that, well, we're too tired to sleep, that's all. Yes, that's it. Too tired. Nerves on edge.
I've been lying here for hours trying to figure out. Now I know.
Will you stop talking like that?
Don't you feel it, Lona? Don't you?
Well,
Don't you? You do feel it. It's something heavy in the air and it's pressing down on us. I'm awfully frightened, Lona. Awfully.
Well, you're not going to frighten me. Why? Why? This is your own Aunt Harriet's house.
Well, she's down there sleeping and she. That cat.
Yeah.
It sounds huge, doesn't it?
That's because it's so quiet in the house.
Lona, there's another one.
Shh.
I tell you, there's two of them. Lona, listen to them. They're not no ordinary cats. Listen to them.
They can't be cats.
I'll call on Harriet. She'll tell me. She'll make them stop.
Alice, wait! Don't go out there, you little fool!
Aunt Harriet, I've got to
Get away from that door. Listen to those things down there. Listen to them.
No. No. Make them stop.
They've gone.
What were they?
Did two cats make all that noise?
Aunt Harriet, why don't you come in here?
No, Alice, don't open that door.
But Aunt Harriet, why doesn't she answer me? She must know what it's all about. Why doesn't she?
Wait!
What?
Listen.
Something's coming up the stairs.
Yes.
My Aunt Harriet?
It's not quite like footsteps.
The cat.
Maybe.
The door.
Cats can't open doors.
It's right outside the door.
I can hear it, can't I?
Is it a cat?
Of course it is.
You don't think so either, do you?
It's just sitting there.
Yes.
Let it sit there.
I'm so afraid.
When morning comes, we'll get out of here.
Aunt Harriet! Aunt Harriet! Why don't you answer me?
Oh, stop that!
There's something outside my door, Aunt Harriet. Why? We don't know what it is.
What's the use of calling her? She won't answer you.
You say that.
Because she hasn't answered us, and she won't.
Well, she's in this house. She must know.
Wait. Trying to get in.
As long as the door is shut.
We're safe enough.
Aunt Harriet. Oh, please wake up, Aunt Harriet.
No.
What?
Look, the doorknob, it's turning. Alice, cats can't open doors.
You mean Aunt Harriet? Oh, yes, it must be Aunt Harriet.
She's ill and she's trying to open the door. I'll open it for her.
No, Lona. Stay away from that door. I'm afraid. No, don't.
Come right in, Aunt Harriet. No!
No, Lona. I got to get some help. I've got to. Oh, my arm. I can't stand the pain. Oh, I've got to. In the woods. It's so thick. Oh, I'm lost. I'm lost. I've got to get some help. Somebody's got to help gonna get some help, Lona. I'm gonna get some help. Oh, it's getting brighter. It's dawn. Now, if I could find a path to the road. And these bushes are tearing my clothes. Why you tear my clothes? I just want to get help for Lona. I'll help you, Lona. I will. The road. Oh, an automobile. Help! Stop. You've got to stop. Oh, help me, please. Oh, help me, please. Oh, Lona.
What is it, sister? What's the matter? Who are you?
The cat. Help me. Come with me right now. Please, don't hurry.
Now, take it easy. Take it easy. I'll help you. Sure, I'll help you. I'm sheriff of this county.
Okay, hurry. You must help me, please.
Now, wait a minute. Are you the girls who left that car on the side of the road back in the woods?
Oh, the car. Yes. We left that car there. Oh, hurry, please.
Joe!
My friend, Lona.
Joe?
Yeah.
These are the girls.
Yeah.
These are the girls.
Yeah.
We found your car back in the woods, and we've been looking for you for hours.
Please, don't just stand there talking. Hurry, we've got to help her. He's killing her.
Killing her? Joe, did you hear what she said?
Oh, hurry, don't talk. Hurry.
All right, now, take it easy, sister. All right, now. This is the house, ain't it?
Yes. Oh, yes. This is the place. Right here.
The old Saugus house.
Yeah. Try the door, Joe.
It's open, Sheriff.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Upstairs. She's upstairs.
Nobody down here, Sheriff.
All right. Let's get up there. I don't know what this is all about, but I'm soon going to find out.
Lona, we're coming for you. Lona, we're coming.
Hey. What room is it, Sheriff?
Right here. That room right there. Hurry. It's killing her.
Get your gun out, Joe.
Yeah. The door's partly open.
Okay. Kick it open, but watch yourself. Careful, Joe.
Sheriff.
Sister, you stay here.
Lona.
Hey, Sheriff. There's nobody in this room.
Huh?
Yeah, look for yourself.
Now, what the... Ma'am.
Where are you?
Hey. Now, wait a minute. Sister, are you sure that Lona is...
Yes, she was here, right here, and it came through the door, and then it jumped at her, and I turned, and I jumped out the window.
Well, hey, that window ain't broke.
But I tell you, I went through it. See my arm?
Yeah, but there's no one in here.
In the bed. It ain't even messed up. Now, did you say that there were two of you sleeping here, sister?
We were. Where are you? What have they done to you? Oh, Aunt Harriet, she'll know. But they killed her too.
Sheriff, come quick. Come quick and bring the girl.
Come along, sister. Joe, what is it?
Look in there.
Aunt Harriet?
Old lady sitting in the rocker and knitting.
Oh, Aunt Harriet. Lona, where is she? What happened? Aunt Harriet, please tell me.
Yeah, tell us all.
May I ask what this is all about?
Aunt Harriet, what's the matter? Didn't you hear anything? Lona, that horrible cat thing. What did they do to her? Answer me. What did it do?
Would you gentlemen tell me who this hysterical young girl is?
Harriet!
Now look here. You don't know who this girl is?
I certainly do not.
But Aunt Harriet, I'm Alice. I came here with Lona, don't you remember?
Oh, you must be mistaken. I have been here alone all night.
You hear that, Joe?
Oh, no. I was here. Lona and I did come here. It was a horrible joke. That's what it is. Aunt Harriet, please tell me you're just joking. Lona, where is she?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen you before in my life.
Oh, no, that's not true. Aunt Harriet, why do you say that?
Now, wait a minute. I've had about enough out of you, sister. Chasing up here with all that bunkum about cats and killing and all that. You better come along with us.
No. Everything I said to you was true. It was true.
Joe, take her other arm.
Oh, no. Let me go. Let go of me. Please, Aunt Harriet. Don't let them take me away. Those horrible cat things. I tell you, there were two of them. Don't let them take me away.
Now, don't mind her, old lady. We'll take care of her.
Yes. Take good care of the flat little thing.
Now, come along, sister. Come with us.
No, wait.
Oh, mother of heaven. The cat's teeth.
And her hands. They're claws.
No. Stay away from me.
Grab her, Joe.
No. Let me go.
Stop.
Clawing my eyes. Get her, Joe. Joe, she's getting away. Joe.
Dead.
Oh, Aunt Harriet.
She's no aunt of anything human, I can tell you that. Look at her.
But my Aunt Harriet,
Sagas.
Sagas. Do you hear that, Sheriff?
Yeah. So you came here thinking she was Mrs. Sagas, did you, girl?
Yes. Lona and I. And Lona must be dead now. How could my aunt do what she did? How could she?
This thing is no aunt of yours, child. Your Aunt Harriet Sagas died in this house 3 years ago. And she left 2 cats. Lights Out, written especially for your radio by Arch Obler, presented to you by Theater Charlotte. Thank you to our cast, Ron McClelland, Ericka Ross, Rayna Allen, Lillie Oden, And I am your host, Tyler Smith. Be sure to join us for TC at Home on Sunday at 7 p.m. as we meet up with our final 2 cast members of Quarantine the Musical, Gracie Bryant and Kristen Sakamoto. Catch up on previous episodes of all of our virtual programming anytime by visiting our Facebook page and on YouTube. It has been our pleasure to bring you virtual programming over the past several months, and we hope that you have enjoyed them. We will be suspending our current programming until further notice. If you haven't already done so, please consider making a donation to Theater Charlotte today. Your contributions have never been more important. On behalf of everyone here at the studio, good night.